Video News, y'all. So this next story I'm getting ready to do here is about one of my female heroes, Maya Moore, and she's a hero to me because of the initiative that she's taken to. She put her career on hold in order to help someone. Everybody at first I thought she had just was getting ready to do a missionary thing to Africa or something on that level. But what she did do, she stayed here in the United States, and she reached out to help this guy that was convicted as a child, convicted to a life sentence as a teenager. And so I'm gonna read the story here. Maya Moore saved. Maya Moore walked away from the NBA in 2019. Her decision caught many of us by surprise, but she felt that it was a necessary thing to do. The Minnesota Lynx guard announced in February 2019 that she would sit out the season to focus on other life endeavors. Moore achieved a lot of success in the WNBA before she decided to step away. Moore would later on, she was the #1 pick in 2011 draft by the Minnesota Lynx. She immediately made her impact when she got to the league. She was the WNBA Rookie of the Year in 2011 and also won her first title. Moore would later go on to win 3 more titles with the Lynx, establishing herself as one of the best players in the WNBA history. The 6-time WNBA All-Star displayed her leadership on the court every game. She has played in started in every WNBA game since her rookie season. In her last season with the Lynx in 2018, she averaged 18 points per game, and she was an integral part of the Lynx team that won multiple championships. Moore has also won 2 gold medals with the U.S. Team USA. When it's all said and done, she will go down as one of the best players ever in the history of the WNBA. And it was not an easy decision for Maya Moore, but she felt that it had to be done. Moore wanted to focus on her family as well as investing her time in some ministry dreams. During that time, she helped change a man's life. Jonathan Irons was a man from Missouri who was in prison serving time. He was arrested as a teenager and was sentenced to 50 years for burglary and assault. Moore announced that she would sit out the 2020 season as well to help advocate Irons' release from jail. Moore's godparents told her that Irons was wrongly convicted at age 16, and he was arrested, tried as an adult, and convicted of the crime. In 2019, Moore told NBC News that there was no physical evidence, DNA, or fingerprints tying Irons to the crime, and she was going to continue to fight for Irons until justice was served. Earlier in March, Moore helped Irons get released from prison and have his initial conviction overturned. After the hearing, Moore said, "This day has been a long time coming." Moore was filled with emotion as she watched Irons become a free man. That's right, overturned. Thank you to everyone for your support. Almost home, but not done yet. And that was Maya Moore on Twitter. And stepping away from the game proved to be the right decision for Moore. Not only did she want to make an impact on the court, she was also wanted to make an impact on life. And Moore won't play during the 2020 season for the Olympics because she still has plans to focus on helping other inmates who were wrongly accused. Moore did mention that she does not plan on retiring just yet, so hopefully the WNBA will see her back in 2021. What Moore is doing goes far beyond the game of basketball, and she will continue to be a positive image whether she's on or off the court. Thank you, Maya Moore. Thank you. You are all of that. Yep. And congratulations at your victory of getting that young man out of prison. They tried to try the 16-year-olds as an adult, and they was going to lock him up for 50 years, and he got his conviction overturned. All right, here we go. This is a different story here. The man who spent 10 years in prison is now an attorney helping wrongfully convicted people. Jarrett Williams, who was wrongfully convicted of sexual assault for which he served 10 years in prison, has now become an attorney and has opened his own law firm in New York City. His primary goal is to help other incarcerated men and women who have been wrongfully convicted like he was before. Adams was only 17 years old when he was sentenced to 28 years in prison. That sentence was later reduced to 10 years, and he was exonerated and released in 2007. After his exoneration, Adams attended Loyola University Chicago School of Law, where he earned a law degree. He then served on the Innocence Project after admitting to the New York State Bar 4 years ago. Most recently, Adams admitted to the Wisconsin State Bar and was sworn in by the co-founder of the Wisconsin Innocence Project, who helped in overturn his conviction. Having experienced the injustice in the justice system, he knew firsthand how having low income would greatly affect a person's chances of getting incarcerated. Like him, most people who were falsely accused don't have access to better attorneys as well. Now, he's coming back to Wisconsin to help overturn convictions in the state's inflated prison population. I really want to live a life as an example of what can happen when people are given the opportunity and the tools to reintegrate safely, successfully back into our society. We can't repair what's going on in our impoverished areas in the state of Wisconsin by locking everyone up. And that's another ringing the bell there. Thank you. And that's Jarrett Adams, that was wrongfully convicted and did 10 years in prison, and now he's out, and now he's a lawyer, and he's trying to do what he can to help other people. And here's one. Here's a feel-good story of the day. We had a big brother takes his 7-year-old sister to the father-daughter dance when her dad fails to show up. An 11-year-old boy named Christian took his little sister Skylar to the father-daughter dance at their school in Atlanta, as being applauded for saving the day for her. Thousands of people across the nation are commending him. Trolicia Hammerter, the sibling's mother, said her 7-year-old daughter was so excited to go to the father-daughter dance. Last year, her father failed to show up to take her, and this year, she really wanted him to go with her. So this year, she comes to me ahead of time and says, "Mom, I want my dad to come with me to the dance. I don't want Grandpa. I want my dad. I want everyone to know that I have a dad." Felicia thought Skylar's father, who is her ex-boyfriend, would not disappoint the little girl again, but they couldn't contact him for weeks. She cried because she had her heart set on going. Felicia wrote on a Facebook post, "I felt so bad because there was nothing I could do because I'm not a male." That's when her son Christian came to the rescue and told her that he would take her to the dance because she deserved to know that a man can keep his word and that she's really special. So when the day came and her father didn't arrive, Christian was the one who took her to the dance. In their photos posted on Facebook, which has been shared more than 50,000 times, Skylar can be seen wearing a beautiful sparkly gold dress and a smile on her face. Alongside her is her brother, who looked dashing in his blue suit and gold bow tie. And so, that's amazing, And brothers, you got to step up, man. Black men, you got to step up and do your job, because this is something that this kid shouldn't have had to do. It's like, time to step up and be men. Time to step up. Peace.